Yo, what's going on guys? It's Anime on back here with another video, and today I'm here with another part of What If Naruto had the jougan. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. Cut to in the hospital of Konoha, where two boys were having a normal conversation. Or at least that is what normal people would think. Well, they saw both of them. One of them was one of the Jonins of Konoha, the Uzumaki, that was alive beside Kushina in Konoha. Menma Uzumaki was talking with, our protagonist of the story, Naruto Uzumaki, was again pretending to be an injured person in the scuffle. You know, after all this is done, what do you plan on doing? Naruto said, said Menma as Naruto just looked at him. What do you mean, Menma? If our plans succeed, present, past, future, all that really won't matter now, will it? Said Naruto. Menma just started laughing. I guess you're right about that one. But it just, sometimes just like to imagine some things. But our plan will bring true peace, Naruto. Everything will turn out the way it was supposed to be right from the beginning. We both are bestowed this power for a reason, and we both will make sure that the Jogans will make, well, the true nature of this world, said Menma as he stood up. We'll meet again, Naruto. Hopefully, you're still good, said Menma. Naruto called out to him, Hey. Menma looked back. Tomorrow, you do know what it is, right? Said Naruto as Menma gave him a nod. Indeed I do, said Menma as he started walking away as he waved at Naruto, who just shrugged and looked up at the sky. It had been his hobby recently, just looking up at the sky. It made him feel, relaxing up to some extent. He knew what was gonna happen. It just disturbed him. And, but he had to do what he had to do. People in his country, the Western Empire, good, he would say. Up to some extent, that is. Nagata was, the leader currently, and Naruto was sure of that. The boy was more than capable. He would make Kisame the leader, since Naruto did trust Kisame more than almost anyone, and he only told Kisame the truth. No one else knew what Naruto knew, except Kisame. So that was that. But Naruto did knew that Kisame wasn't the one who was fit to lead. It was Nagato. He understood people's morale, and he was smart up to some extent. Naruto knew that. Why? Because he had spent 2 years with the boy, and that was spending a lot of time with someone. And the Akatsuki were also there, so he didn't fear about the Western Empire. No one would dare to attack it. Only if the 5 great nations combine their forces will they be able to stand up to something like that. That thought crossed his mind. Meanwhile, in the Konoha, in Namikaze mansion, Kushina eyes were wide as she heard what Minato told her. As I said, Kushina, we're gonna make an alliance and destroy the Western Empire, said Minato. Kushina stood up. You fool! What the hell are you thinking? That's our son, for God's sake, Minato! She screamed at the yellow flash of the leaf. Minato gave her a stunned look. Kushina, I do feel what you're trying to say, but I'm the Hokage of this village, and the village comes first to me more than anything, even more than the family. Naruto, he is also the Kage of the Western Empire, and the main threat that we have to eliminate. I'll personally make sure that the wrongdoings that we did will be made to reality. That's the least I can do for my son. Free him from his suffering by death, said Minato. Kushina grabbed Minato by the collar as tears were in her eyes. Don't you try to give me that crap, Minato. Just, I, I, I haven't even seen him since he was, since he was a kid. Is that what you're trying to say, Kushina? They've gotten photos of him, but that stopped 5 years ago, said Minato as Kushina looked away. That's all of the other nation's fault, and you're still aligning with them. As he let go of Minato's collar, as he wasn't in the right place of mind. Minato, go. I need to think about this, he said. But before Minato could go, he spoke something. As I said, Kushina, the jutsu name is Revolution. Only by the name it suggests what it's capable of. Reviving the entirety of those monkey clan that were dead from the past, from the moment that those monkey clan were formed to the present. That's over 200,000. Even if the 5 great nations combine their forces, you won't be able to stand up against something like that. It's just a fact. Not to include all the 5 Kages that were killed. And that's a disaster that no one in this world will be able to forget if the revolution happens. I have to make it stop. As the leader of our village, that's my duty. And whatever you do, Kushina, I won't blame you, because I'm also Naruto's parent. As he said that, he started walking away. As he was saying that, now Minato heard a voice. Dad! Minato turned around as he saw his little princess. She was now 16 years old. She was a 2 years younger than Naruto, so what happened to Mom? She said. Minato just looked at Mito. It's nothing, your brother, said Minato. Mito just looked down. It's him. She sighed. I have not met him yet, but I've heard so much about the Moon Eye that it's actually terrifying. I'm not sure if I want to meet him, Dad, but for Mom's sake, I do want her to meet him. Just for her sake. She'll go insane if she doesn't even see him for once, said Mito, as Minato nodded. Indeed. It's just sad as it is, said Minato. But why is she crying? I've never seen her like that. Minato looked at Narumi. Tomorrow you'll know everything. You're gonna go on a date with Itachi. Go, and congratulations, we have won the war. And also, I've heard that both of you are planning to get married, Minato said with a slight smirk. Mito blushed. Well, that stupid dad, don't bring that up, she said. Minato laughed. Don't worry, princess. I approve of it. Itachi's a good guy, and I know he will take good care of you, he said. Mito smiled. Thanks, Dad, she said. As soon as she said that, there was a knock on the door. Mito, I'm here, a very heavy voice said as Mito opened the door to see, her Uchiha boyfriend is standing there. Itachi, let's go, she said. Itachi gave her a nod as he looked at Minato. Lord Hokage, he said as he bowed down his head. No need for the formalities, Itachi. You might be my future son-in-law for what I know. He said with a smirk. Itachi blushed a little. Well, I still haven't decided on that. It's just a thought in our mind, but yeah, that might happen, said Itachi. Minato just shook his head. Give it a nice little thought, big boy. I was your age when I proposed to Kushina. I was, 17, I think. So you just give it a nice big thought, said Minato, as Itachi nodded as they left the room. Minato sighed as he looked at Kushina's room. Kushina, I know it's hard on you, but as a Kage, I must do what is necessary. Minato said as he vanished in a yellow flash. He was up to the Kage's worst nightmare. Paperwork. Meanwhile, in in the Rain Village, many people were sad, depressed, happy. Most of the civilians and the people living in there were happy, and only few people were sad. And out of those few people, you could count some of them. That would be, well, Ada and Orochi would be the two that would actually be on the top of the list. The Akatsuki members, some of them were also on that list, but they didn't care much. They would follow orders, that was what they were there for. But Ada and Orochi were not like that. They were Naruto's dear friends, and they cared about him more than anyone in the world, especially Ada. She remembered the nights she spent with Naruto. Flashback. This was after the battle with Minato and Naruto when Konoha tried to invade the Rain Village. Naruto opened his eyes to see the familiar hospital loom ceiling. He sighed. He exhausted himself. He was just, experimenting with his newfound powers and he got too carried away. Well, that was to be expected, but at least the Konoha forces had retreated. That was good. That was what he wanted, and that was what he got. The Akatsuki had interfered, otherwise he was sure that Minato would march on, but with the seeing of so many S-rank ninjas in the Rain Village side, even the yellow flash of the leaf was, not foolish enough to take that decision. Naruto just looked up at the sky, ceiling, but he felt something on the side of his bed. His left arm was heavy. He looked to his left side to see Ada laying on his bed. Her head at least it was laying on. She was fast asleep. Naruto just sighed as a small smile appeared on his face. He moved his left hand as he started caressing her hair. Oh, I wonder, Ada. Things could have turned out differently, but not everything we want in a life. We get it, now do we? He thought, as he just looked at her. She was so beautiful, but he didn't deserve her. He just didn't. After what he did, he didn't. The single thought popped up to his mind. That was, how can a heart like yours love a heart like mine? That was all he thought. Ada was pure, kind. Meanwhile, he didn't want to think about that. He thought sarcastically, what a day it was. He thought looking at the ceiling, everything had already been placed by destiny. There's nothing that he could do to change it. The future was decided. He felt Ada stirring up as he sighed. He got out of the bed, but before he could leave, someone grabbed his arm. Naruto. Naruto didn't look back, but he knew Ada was the one who did it. Where are you going? You haven't recovered yet, she said. Naruto looked at her as he turned around. I have recovered enough to, well, carry out my duties as the Kage of this village, Naruto said. Ada glared at him. Don't you dare give me that speech. You're not recovered. Your chakra depletion was, well, a severe case. It will at least take, even for Uzumaki, at least a day of rest. Just don't do this to yourself, he said. Naruto's hair shadowed his eyes. Ada, there's something of our responsibilities that we have. I just can't be like this, resting while my village is suffering, said Naruto. Ada still didn't let go of his arm. Then shared with me. Take others' help. Don't do this all by yourself. It's killing me, Naruto. Naruto looked at her. What do you mean? You ignoring me, avoiding me. It's killing me. You have been gone for 2 years, and when you come back, you tell us that we're going on war with Hanzo. And even after that, you didn't talk to me. At least you talked to Orochi. But even that was just as a leader to subordinate. It wasn't like friends. Naruto, don't you want to be our friend anymore? Naruto looked at her. That's not... He couldn't say it. I see, said Ada as he stood up. I love you, Naruto, but it's hurting me inside. It hurts me so much that it's killing me. I just can't do this shit anymore, she said as she started walking away. This time, Naruto was the one who grabbed her hand. Ada, listen to me, he said as Ada turned around to see Naruto was face to face with her. Listen, but I'll show you with my actions how I feel about you. But that doesn't mean that everything will turn out in the future the way we want. Ada was confused by the words he was saying, but before she knew it, Naruto pinned her to the bed and kissed her. As the kiss lasted for a few seconds as they parted, Ada's eyes were widened as Naruto was looking at her. It's a warm look. Listen, I love you, but things don't turn out how we want them. Always, he said as he kissed her again. This is what I can do, at least, Naruto thought, as they both started removing their clothes, and soon, well, they had a passionate night. In the morning, Naruto got up from the bed as he stretched. He looked to see his clothes scattered everywhere. He sighed. He should have controlled his damn emotions. Well, that what is done is done. There's no meaning in meddling in the past. He looked at Ada, who was, well, sleeping without a care in the world. That is how it should be. She should be happy. That is all that he wanted. He started putting on his clothes as tears started leaking from his eyes. This, as Ada's flashback ends, Ada just looked up at the sky. She was sitting on top of the Rain Villager's tallest building. She just wished that he at least just said something before he left to come where she didn't know where he went. At least that time she didn't. Konoha, he was investigating. At least that is what he told him in the letters. He and Menma would cooperate. She never understood Naruto. The night that they spent together, But that was the next day Naruto had left. Only people that knew about this were Kisame and, well, Nagato. Naruto had told Nagato to take over the village for a while, and Kisame, the latter, pretty much knew everything about there was about Naruto, so that was not surprising. You're thinking about him, aren't you? She heard a voice to see Arashi appearing, walking towards her. Yeah, she said. I'm pretty sure he's doing fine. He's strong enough to protect himself. Said Arashi. It's not that. It's just that Naruto, he has changed too much. I don't know if I know him anymore. It's just that I know he cares about us and the village, but it's you think that because of this nonsense, our friendship is being torn apart. Isn't that what you think? Said Rashi as Ada nodded her head. Yes, it is what I think, but I just can't help it. Just look at it that way. Arashi gave her a small smile. You're not the only one, Ada. I do feel the same way, but I do understand Naruto's perspective. What he's doing is for the best of our village. Gathering intel is something that only he can do by infiltrating a village. Meanwhile, also, having a good connection with one of the Konoha higher-ups, Menma Uzumaki, was a good play on his part. We'll have more than enough information to go to Konoha tomorrow, said Arashi as Ada just shook her head. I don't want to go, she said. Arashi gave her a nod. Understandable. You can stay in the village and guard it. Meanwhile, me and the Akatsuki, along with a few of our forces, will be going to Konoha. I don't know why Naruto wants to attack Konoha right now, but he's our Kage and we'll obey his orders, said Arashi. Ada just gave him a nod. Just hope things don't get too hectic, she said, as Arashi gave him her nod. I hope for the same, Ada. I hope for the same. Meanwhile, the Raikage, many of the people representing their villages were going towards Konoha. Specifically, Minato was talking with one of them. His name was Dari. So, how do you want to reveal this information? Do you really plan on revealing it? Just like that? So Dari. Yes, indeed I do. If you want to make the Western Empire a target for the entire world, this would be a great plan to make that happen. But then again, our main target is Naruto Uzumaki, not the entirety of the Western Empire, said Minato. Dari gave him a nod. Indeed it is, as I said. But do you really think you have it within you to kill your own son? Said Dari as his gaze turned dead serious. Minato gave the man an icy cold blue look. That was the look of the yellow flash that had killed many. I will do what is necessary in order to make sure that my village stands on top and that my village is protected. I have a family to protect and they live within this village. My son, I never got to meet him that much, so even if I love him, I don't love him as much as I love my other two, Mito and Kushina. They are in my life. If anything happens to them because of Naruto, I won't hesitate to kill him, said Minato. Dari gave him a nod. Yeah, that's good to hear, Lord Hokage. Who's gonna be making the announcements? Said Minato. said Dari as Minato smirked. "I'm the perfect man for that," he said, as the man sneezed. Someone must be thinking about me. Well, shit, thought the man, as he started drinking. Well, he was drinking tea, actually. You might wonder who this man is. He was well in his 50s, and he wasn't the greatest of the greatest, you would say, but he was good at giving speeches, and that was why Minato had chosen him. The man was none other than, well, you guessed it. Or maybe you didn't. I want you guys to comment down below, who do you think that Minato has chosen to give the revolutionary speech to the entire public about Naruto's quote-unquote secret jutsu and the declaration of war against the Western Empire that the five great nations are gonna do. So I want you guys to comment down below if you think who it is. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. So if you guys liked it, please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and yeah, please peace out guys. See you in the next video. Peace.